Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm Sean Anderson of Most Valuable Podcast, and I am doing the 2018 season preview predictions, something, for the Oakland Raiders, soon to be the Las Vegas Raiders, with new head coach Jon Gruden, who will be there for 10 years. In 10 years, I will be 30 years old and probably have a gray beard. So just picture that. That's how long you're going to be dealing with Jon Gruden, who I think is like a 60-year-old man. So have fun dealing with senile Jon Gruden as your head coach 10 years from now. But we were talking about 2018, his first year back as the Oakland Raiders head coach. We're going to go through all 16 games. I'm going to give you your predictions on the win and loss ratio, the win and loss outcome, what you're going to finish after the 2018 season. Week 1, you're going up against the Rams. I think the Rams are a young, explosive team. Even though this is going to be in Oakland at Mount Davis, I think that the Rams are going to get the win there. This Rams offense versus this Raiders defense is going to be like a hot knife, or a hot knife through hot butter. It's going to melt, decimate, and destroy this defense. Rams get the early victory. Then in week 2, you go up against the Broncos. It's in Mile High, but I think you are going to get the win in Denver. I think this is going to be a team, again, that is talented. This Oakland team is talented. You're going up against a Broncos team that struggled last year. I think it's going to be a slow start for Denver, especially getting Case Keenum used to the air, getting used to the team, getting used to the weapons, and also you still have rookies on that Denver defense. I think the Raiders, having Carr, having Marshawn Lynch, obviously having Amari Cooper, and having Jon Gruden as the head coach, I think it's going to be a win for the Raiders in week 2. Then week 3, you're going up against the Dolphins. I'm not massively high on the Dolphins this year. Ryan Tannehill, what is he going to be like this year? You obviously look at that defense outside of Cam Wake, outside of Robert Quinn, outside of Jones in the secondary. What do they really have on their team? I am going to give the win to the Raiders there. I think there's more of a cohesive unit in Oakland rather than Miami, so you get the win in week 3. Then in week 4, you're going up against the Browns. I think the Browns are one of the most porous coached teams in the NFL. From their head coach, offensive coordinator, to their defensive coordinator, even though they have upgraded their talent, I think that the Raiders will get the win there in week 4. Then week 5, you're going up against one of the teams I am highest on this year, the Chargers. I think the Chargers have a great offense, veteran leadership, and a young, explosive defense. The Chargers get the win in week 5 in their soccer stadium. Then week 6, you're going up against the Seahawks, a team that is falling down, and London Bridge will be falling down as this game is taking place in London, and Oakland gets the victory. I don't think this is going to be a scenario where Pete Carroll gets fired, but I think we're going to realize the brevity of the situation out in Seattle and how bad this team is. The Raiders get the win in week 6. Bye week, week 7, no win, no loss there. Week 8, though, you go up against the Colts. Even though you're coming off the bye, I think it's going to be a Colts team that has been getting wins. If you see my Colts prediction, it already came out. Go check that out. This is a team that's picking up steam. Andrew Luck's getting used to playing. He's getting comfortable behind in the pocket. I think this is going to be a game that if Khalil Mack is able to get pressure, then that's going to be the turning point. But I think that the Colts are going to be able to hold them off a little bit. It's going to be interesting to see what Quentin Nelson can do against Khalil Mack. But I will take the Colts to win in week 8. And in week 9, you go up against the Golden Boy, Jimmy Garoppolo, up against the Golden Gate Bridge San Francisco 49ers. I think you get the win in week 9. I'm not too high on the 49ers, or maybe I'm where I should be on the 49ers. I think a lot of people are high on the Niners. I'm a little bit lower than everybody else. I think the Raiders get the win. I think they're equally talented teams, and maybe it just comes down to the fact that Carr is a more experienced quarterback than Jimmy G. They have a better weapon on the outside than Amari Cooper, and also you have that playmaking end in Khalil Mack to change games. They have those things that I don't think the San Francisco 49ers do have. Jimmy Garoppolo is a capable quarterback, but outside of that, who are their true playmakers on this team? I don't think those players have shined and come out yet. That's why I'm giving the win to the Raiders. Then in week 10, you go up against the Chargers. I already talked about it. I'm super high on this team. I'm going to give it to the Chargers. Then week 11, you go up against the Cardinals. Who's going to be starting for this team? Is it going to be Sam Bradford? Is it going to be Josh Rosen? Is it going to be Teddy Bridgewater on this team? No, he's on the Jets. Who's their third quarterback, Ricky? It's Sam Bradford, it's Josh Rosen, and it's neck up, Brock Osweiler.
Ginger Giraffe.
It's Ginger Giraffe, Mike Glennon. So he was doing this and up, pointing for Giraffe. No matter who's starting there, I don't know how good they're going to be. I'm high on Rosen, but he might not be starting at this point. Sam Bradford's going to get injured anytime he's sacked. And also, Mike Glennon's a horrible quarterback. I saw him. I watched him play, unfortunately, in Chicago. I think the Raiders get the win. Then week 12, you're going up against the Ravens. I think the Ravens are one of the most slept-on teams. They're very well-rounded. They might not be great, but they are good. I think the Ravens get the victory. Then you're going up against week 13, first time against the Chiefs. Chiefs are coming off a bye. I think that's going to be a major point and turning point for the Chiefs season because You've gone 12 weeks of playing. 11 weeks of playing. You've gotten your boy Pat Mahomes under center. He's gotten comfortable through now. Now is the turning point because this team might struggle early on in the season. This is going to be their run at the end of the season to try to make the playoffs. I think the Chiefs get the victory in Week 13. Then in Week 14, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with the Steelers. Obviously, the Le'Veon Bell situation is going on. Is Big Ben going to be staying healthy? What is Antonio Brown going to do if Big Ben is injured? And also, what's this defense going to look like without Ryan Shazier? But Week 14, if the talent is there and that team is healthy, I'm going to give the win to the Steelers. Week 15, you go up against the Bengals. That's going to be a win for the Raiders. I am not high on the Bengals at all. And even though it's in Cincinnati, I think the Raiders will have enough talent to get the victory there. Then Week 16, you win the rubber match against the Broncos on Monday night. Again, I think, or not the rubber match, you sweep the Broncos this year. You go 2-0 against the Broncos. I think that, again, this team being in Oakland, it's going to be the last home game. I think it's going to be massively important that they get this win, and they will get the win against the Broncos. I think they saw them once. They're going to see them again. If Carr's healthy, if Cooper's healthy, this team is still better offensively than the Broncos are. And yes, it's going to be it's going to be difficult for the Raiders line to deal with Khalil Mack and Bradley Chubb. But if they're able to get past that and able to show a two-dimensional offense attack, both rushing and throwing, I think it's going to be a win for the Raiders. And finally, Week 17, you're going up against the Chiefs in Kansas City. It's going to be a massively huge game, I think, because obviously this might be determining the playoff for the wild card in the AFC. I think that the Raiders get the win, and they split the series with the Chiefs this year. They go 3-3 in the division, 9-7 on the season. It's been a long day, guys. 9-7 on the season, 6-6 in the conference, 3-5 at home, but also 6-2 away. I think this is going to be a weird season for the Raiders. With John Gruden coming back, I think it's going to be an important season, and I think they get back on the winning side of things and go 9-7. But let me know what you think about the Raiders down in the comments below. And also, since you're down there, check out patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcast. Also, mostvaluablepodcast.com so you don't miss out any of the things we're posting. And since you're here, we still have, if I'm doing my math correct, 32 minus 9. We have like 20 more. We have 23 more predictions coming out. So definitely subscribe so you don't miss out on any of our 2018 NFL season predictions. I'm Sean Anderson, and we'll see you next time.